she dances.
This place was on the front cover of the real estate section of the Southwest Times. I drove straight here and came down the driveway, and it was like I was coming home. I was getting the history, the heritage, these two beautiful buildings, the Bibbulmun Track, the Blackwood River, the Norrellup River, and a fixer-upper as far as a pasture system that had been asleep for 45 years. So when I realised what was sort of going on, I tried to understand the movement of water and nutrients around the farm. At the time I was reading Peter Andrews' books and trying to get an understanding of succession and soil and water, and practiced that here. In February 2013, at the height of summer, we had a lightning strike behind the hill, and within 12 hours a flame front came through at 80 kilometres an hour and wiped out the valley. And our home. And the animals I'd raised. It's something I'll always have with me, I suppose, and in a way, many people have said to me, you know, you're lucky that nobody died, and I feel that, in a way, part of me did, and that's okay, because out of that, I feel like came a new way of being, and a way that I suppose was less intimidated. And because when I woke up that morning and realised that everything was gone, that all I had to go on with was what was in my head and my heart, and that I better get started. And so I spent the next few weeks, I had friends show up with machinery and seed, and we put together a kick-ass package of perennials that we scarified. We'd had a lot of damage from the fire as far as cratering because of the huge stumps that had been burned away, etc. And we scarified lightly to get the surface more even and more manageable, and then seeded and rolled the perennial seed. I had a decision then to make 4 or 5 months after the fire, when the pastures had matured to the point where it was time to impact them with animals, and decided that I was going to go ahead with a Southampton style model, which involved ruminants ahead of poultry, and built my tractors and with the help of friends, and wouldn't you know it, at that point, and I was busy grazing 200 merino sheep through the farm and moving the tractors, Michelle drove down the driveway and never left again, which was blessings of my life. Michelle brings such a beautiful pragmatism to my vision for this place that it's made a pretty dynamic team, and that's allowed us to, you know, Michelle sort of rolled up her sleeves and said, right, what's stopping us from making this a truly viable, sustainable outpost? It was I suppose what Darren Doherty referred to as reclaiming the terms of trade. That being looking at the whole value chain from hatching to the customer, and seeing which bits we could bring back onto the farm. And we made it our mission to get as much as that back on board as soon as we could.
I guess it's grounded in what are we really trying to achieve here, both the heart stuff, which is critical, and then the head stuff, and how does this really work, and how is this really going to work? And that's always what I'm thinking about. So it's a nice, I think, marrying of the sort of the vision and the long-term big vision with what do we need to do today to make that happen. And I think that, yeah, when I first arrived and I was talking to Jeff about some of this, I was really fascinated about what was unfolding here, because it was sort of the convergence of all the sustainability ideals that I was passionate about with the real practical, literally, feet in the ground, in the dirt sort of work. So for me it was more like, well, how do you really make something like this happen? I wanted to get in and sort of really understand what is it actually going to take to make this a success, because I thought it was pretty gutsy. And that's when he first sort of said to me, well, I've been thinking about this micro-abattoir. I went, what's that? And who's going to do the killing? You? Who's going to, what? What does that mean? You want to process what?
This is pasture raising chickens at its
90s
finest.
Move. He does it every time.
What?
Your 90s boy band.
Yeah, let's just